Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter of 7th standard Physical and Chemical Changes, chapter number 2. So we are knowing that the changes are the integral part of the nature. So every moment there are some changes taking place around us. Some of the common example of the changes you might have seen: the freezing of water, melting of ice, ripening of fruits, and the digestion of food, and the growth of plants and animals. These are some changes that are continuously occurring around us. So in this chapter we will learn about the changes systematically. What are the changes occurring and what are the kinds of changes. So very first is the types of changes. So changes may be classified into the various ways. So very first is the reversible and irreversible changes. A change is said to be reversible when opposite change can be brought about reversing the conditions. Means if we reverse the conditions, the opposite change can be occurred. For example, if we heat the ice, it melts into water. And if we freeze the water, it converts into ice again. So it means it is a reversible change, is it? And so is the vaporization of water also. On heating, the water converts into vapors, and on cooling, the vapors converts into water. That is the reversible change. So all the changes in the state of matter are reversible. Like the glowing of electric bulb, again a reversible change. Heating of an electric iron or a heater, and the bulb glows, is it, and vanishes, and the iron gets heated and it gets cooled down also, is it, when the electric current is switched off, is it. So a change is said to be irreversible when opposite change cannot be brought about by reversing the conditions. So reversible changes are those which can be reversed again, which we can get the same thing again. But irreversible are the changes in which the opposite change cannot be brought about by reversing the conditions. If we reverse the condition, the opposite change cannot be brought. For example, milk can be changed into curd, but we can't make the milk from the curd, is it? On heating, the sugar gets charred, is it? A black mass is formed, is it? But on that, from that black mass, we will not be able to get the sugar again, is it? So it means all these changes are irreversible changes, is it? So other common example of irreversible changes is the burning of coal, burning of wood, paper, kerosene, is it? Photosynthesis in plants, is it? These are the irreversible changes. Clotting of blood, is it? Growth in humans and plants, animals, and digestion of food in our body, is it? All these are irreversible changes which cannot be reversed. Once you grow, you cannot be a child, is it? That is the irreversible change. Then other type of changes, that is desirable and undesirable change. Some of the changes that are useful for us, that's why they are desirable changes. For example, the ripening of fruits, growth in living beings, and changes involved in the cooking. That is the desirable change. Ripening of fruit that is necessary for us, is it? It is good for us, so that is desirable. And when we are cooking the food, it gets cooked also, that is again a desirable change, is it? On the other hand, some of the changes which are harmful or that are called undesirable changes. For example, the rusting of iron and the spoiling of food, that is undesirable, because rusting of iron will damage the piece of iron, is it? And spoiling of food is again a undesirable change. Our food get spoiled, is it? Earthquakes, cyclones, volcanic eruptions, these all are the undesirable changes, and it can cause a massive damage on a large scale, is it? So there are other kinds of changes that are physical and chemical changes. So changes are classified mainly into physical and chemical changes, is it? So chemical is of the greater interest in the chemist, is it? So we'll study about the physical and chemical changes separately. So first of all, the physical changes. So a change in which the no new substance are formed and which can be reversed by reversing the conditions, that are called the physical changes. A change in which no new substance is formed, right? I mean, change is taking place, but there is not any new substance, right? And that change is also reversible. That is called the physical change. As we have discussed already, what is the reversible changes, is it? So physical change is the change in which the new substance is forming, and we can reverse this change also. So one of the most common example of the physical changes, the state of matter. Changes in the state of matter. So all these changes are fulfilling the criteria that we are discussing about the physical changes, is it? For example, the glowing of a heater or a bulb, that is a physical change. When electric current is passed through the bulb or heater, it get glow, is it? Bulb will glow, and when we turn off the switch, the glow will vanishes, is it? The glow will vanish. So this change is reversible, and in this change there is not any new substances formed also, is it? So it means the glowing of a heater or a bulb is a physical change. Then the melting of a solid. When you heat the ice, it gives the water, is it? So the kind of matter contains in the ice and water, that is the same, is it? So no new substance is formed. When ice melts, it converts to water, and when water freezes, it converts to ice, is it? So water changes back into ice also when cooled, is it? So this change is reversed by reversing the condition, that is heating and cooling, is it? Hence the melting of ice is again a physical change. So in fact, if any of the solid melts, no new substance are formed, is it, in the change, and the change is reversible. So it means melting of any kind of solid like ice, butter, sulfur, iron, lead, silver, gold, that is again a physical change. Then freezing of a liquid. On being cooled at 0 degrees Celsius, water converts into ice, that we are knowing, and on heating it with again converts into water. So freezing of water is a reversible change, and there is no new substances formed, is it? So it means it is a physical change as well, is it? So freezing of any kind of liquid, any sort of liquid, that is a physical change. Then we have the sublimation. Sublimation, maybe you are knowing about. Sublimation is the process in which some of the substances directly converts into vapors without changing into liquid state. I mean, they are directly converting into vapor state. So when they are cooled, vapors again convert into solid. So this is again a reversible change, and in this change also there is not any new substances formed. So sublimation of the solid like ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene, that are physical changes. So dissolution of a substance in a liquid, dissolution of a substance in a liquid. Sugar, salt, glucose, and many other solid substances dissolved in water. The substance that dissolves is called the solute, and the liquid in which the substance is dissolved, that is called the solvent. There are the two things, solute and solvent. Solute is the substance which is dissolved, which is to be dissolved, and solvent is the substance in which you are dissolving the solute. Is it? So solute and solvent, they together make a solution. In the solution we are having the two things, that is solute and solvent. Solute, that is the substance which is to be dissolved, and solvent is the substance in which we are dissolving the solute, right? So solute can be obtained back from the solution by evaporating the solvent, is it? And hence dissolving is again a physical change. So when a solid dissolves in a liquid, the volume of the liquid does not change. So this is because the solid break up into the molecules inside the liquids. So hence these molecules hide themselves in the intermolecular spaces of the liquid. So if we are dissolving the sugar or salt into the water, the level of the water is not rising. The reason behind it is because the sugar or salt get break up into the molecules inside the liquids, inside the water, you can say. Is it? Liquid is the water, is it, in this case? So that's why the volume of the water is not rising. Evaporation and boiling of a liquid is again a physical change. A liquid evaporates at all temperatures, is it? So as the temperature of the liquid is raised, the rate of evaporation increases, is it? So at the boiling point of the liquid, the evaporation is the fastest. Means if we are heating the substance, or if we are heating the liquid, the rate of evaporation increases, right? And vapors, when it is cooled, it will again give to the liquids. So it is again a reversible change. So there is not any new substances formed. So evaporation or boiling can be take place like liquid like water, alcohol, ether. Is it? It is again a physical change. So on cooling we can again obtain the same substance. Is it? So it is a physical change. Then the drying of cloths. When wet cloths are spread in open, is it? So by the process of evaporation, the clothes get dried, is it? So this is again a physical change, because this change is reversible and there is not any new substances formed. So these are all changes that we have discussed, that are the physical changes. So this is one new kind of change, that is the chemical change. Chemical change is just opposite to the physical change, a change in which the new substances are formed and which cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions, that are called the chemical changes, is it? So chemical changes are those in which new substances are formed now, is it? There are new substances are formed and these changes cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions. For example, very first is the burning of coal or wood. So when you burn the coal, mainly the carbon, you can say, so carbon burn, it combined with the oxygen of the air and it formed the new substance, that is the carbon dioxide, is it? So carbon dioxide is the gas, new substance is formed and heat is liberated in the air, you can say, is it? And these changes are irreversible, because on being cooled we cannot get the wood again, is it? And we cannot get the carbon again from the oxygen, is it? So, or from the air, is it? So hence the burning of coal or wood, it is a chemical change. Burning of anything you can take, it is a chemical change. It can be a wood, it can be a paper, is it? It can be coal or any substance. Because when we are burning something, the substance is getting mixed with the air to forming carbon dioxide, is it? And on being cooled, the carbon dioxide and water vapor is also formed. On being cooled, the carbon dioxide and water vapor is not forming the same substance again, whether it is wood, coal or paper, is it? So thus burning of any substance is again a chemical change. Then we have the other kind of change, chemical change, that is the rusting. When the piece of iron is getting rusted in the moisture, a reddish brown deposit is formed on the iron, is it? So from the reddish brown substance that is formed, that is rust, is it? We cannot form the iron again, is it? If we take out that reddish brown substance, and if we try to form the iron again, we will not be able to reverse this, is it? So it means this change is again irreversible. So this is the chemical change. Then cooking of food, the taste of the vegetables and the pulses, you might have seen it gets changed when we are cooking it, is it? Also in the case of green vegetables and vegetable curry, grains, is when it is cooked, its taste gets changed. So we cannot get the raw vegetables or pulses again from the cooked food, is it? So it means it is again a irreversible change. Same with the curdling of milk. When a milk is curdled, a new substance is formed, curd, is it? And from the curd we cannot get back the milk. So it is again a irreversible change. The boiling of an egg, and egg contains the two thick liquids, yellow yolk you might have seen, the colorless, and the colorless white egg, is it? So when the egg is boiled, the liquid gets hardened separately, is it? So the hard masses are different from the original thick liquids, is it? So this change is again irreversible, is it? We cannot get the egg again from the boiled egg, is it? So boiling of an egg is again a chemical change. Digestion of food in our body, is it? And this is again a irreversible change, right? Because whatever the digestion take place, that is expelled out of from our body, we cannot get the same food again, is it? That is again a irreversible change. Then fermentation, in the presence of some of the enzymes, the sugar solution changes into alcohol. So carbon dioxide is also formed in this process. So as a result, the froth comes on the surface of the liquid as if it is boiled. So this process is known as the fermentation. So it is the Latin word that means fervere, that is meaning to boil. So fermentation, it is used to preparation for the alcohol from the sugar. So sources of sugars are fruits, is it? Molasses, is it? Obtained from the sugar industries. And this is again an irreversible process in which the new substance is formed. So therefore it is a chemical change. Then photosynthesis, in the green plants, they prepare their food, glucose, from the carbon dioxide and moisture in the presence of chlorophyll in sunlight. So carbon dioxide plus moisture in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it gives to the glucose and oxygen. So glucose and oxygen is new substance is formed. So we cannot get the carbon dioxide and moisture again from the glucose and oxygen. So this is again an irreversible change and it is a chemical change. Then we have the respiration. So when we respire, oxygen of the air we breathe in, and it combines with the glucose to form the degradation of our food in the body, and as a result the new substances are formed, carbon dioxide and water. So this change is not reversible, is it? So therefore again it is a chemical change. So respiration takes place in the animals and plants also. So as you remember, glucose is formed in the photosynthesis. So respiration energy is released, so which is used in the driving of life processes. So respiration is also a chemical change. So the glowing of a mixture of an iron and sulfur when heated. You will learn soon about it, is it? When a mixture of iron and sulfur powder, when heated, it glows and forms a new substance. So it does not give rise to the same iron and sulfur again on cooling. So this is again a chemical change. So this was about the physical and chemical changes. So next time we will discuss about the change in mass during the chemical change. Thank you.